Most of your fat loss achieved is going to be driven through your nutrition, which is great news. So if you're too busy, not able to, or you just don't want to start working out just yet, you don't have to get good results. We'll be going over the 9 tips to help you lose weight without exercising here in a second. But if you don't want to gain the weight back and you want to stay healthy, confident, and feeling good about yourself, you have to change your mindset around health and fitness, which we'll go over as well. And then at the end, I'll show you how you can get even better results if you wanted to. Before we get into that, you have to understand what matters the most when it comes to weight loss. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Let's say your body burns 2,000 calories to get you through the day. That's going to the grocery store, digesting your food, scrolling on your phone. If you ate exactly 2,000 calories, you would maintain your weight. That is your maintenance calories. If you eat more than that, you'll gain weight. And if you eat less than that, you'll lose weight. It's a little bright out, but bear with me. But this cup will represent calories, and this whole entire cup will represent your maintenance calories. And so if you ate less, you'll be in a calorie deficit, which is exactly where we want to be in order to lose weight. But if you eat more, you start to spill over, and this is where we gain weight. Now that you understand that, let's go over the 9 tips to help you lose weight without exercise. Tip number 1, be a breakfast, lunch, and dinner person. Eating solid whole meals will help you keep your hunger and your cravings under control. Have you ever caught yourself snacking and munching on things throughout the day? I bet it's either because you skipped the meal or you're just not eating enough food. What I commonly see with my online fat loss coaching clients is mid-morning to afternoon snacking. A lot of times it's those who skip breakfast. And think about the types of foods that you're snacking on. It ain't carrots and apples. It's the foods that are tasty and higher in calories, the chips, the crackers, the sweets, the things that will never fill you up, and so you keep eating and eating. Which, by the way, companies will spend millions of dollars researching on how they can make their snacks do exactly that. So it's a tough battle to win against, unless you do this. Eat more food. I'm talking about good, wholesome meals. And I know eating more food sounds like the opposite thing we should be doing in order to lose weight, but it will actually help you eat less calories overall. Because a lot of food is different from a lot of calories. Think chicken breasts, fajita vegetables, and white rice compared to Doritos. Could be the same amount of calories, but you'll feel so much more full with the whole meal. And it doesn't have to be 3 square meals. You have to figure out what works best for you and what you can stick to the most. I have some online clients who do 2 bigger meals and 1 bigger protein focused snack. I personally eat 3 to 4 whole meals and 1 snack throughout the day. So you have to figure out what works best for you. Number 2, don't eliminate junk food, just eat less of it. You've probably tried cutting out foods that you liked in attempts to lose weight, and it probably didn't last too long. I want you to think about it this way. Fill up with whole foods first, fuel your body, and then your taste buds. And this is closely related to what we just talked about, because the thing about these junk foods is that they don't fill you up too much. And that means we can just keep on eating and eating. But if we fill our stomach up and fuel our body, and then if we still want something, we can control and moderate the portions much easier. I could easily smash a whole bag of chips if I'm reaching for it when I'm starved or I'm too lazy to start cooking dinner. And then I'll still eat dinner. Remember this, restriction leads to obsession. If you try to cut things out completely, you'll just continue to think about them. These cravings will get bigger and bigger, and then eventually there's going to be a breaking point. And then you'll go crazy and tell yourself, I'll just start again on Monday. But for this weekend, I'm gonna eat every single food I've been craving this whole time, and then I'll start fresh. Can you tell I've been here before? So put yourself in the best position to be able to moderate these types of foods. Number 3, limit liquid calories. These things rack up quickly. So if you're big on frappuccinos and juices and sodas and all these other tasty drinks, this is one change that you can make to start losing weight quickly. I've had some online fat loss coaching clients who initially were drinking 400 to 700 calories worth of drinks. So switch to things like water, diet sodas, sparkling water, things without calories, and save those calories for your food. You'll feel so much better this way. Number 4, track what you eat. Awareness is everything. And if you know there's a problem, it's your responsibility to solve it. This is some tough love here, and it might hurt some feelings, but this is probably why some of you turned a blind eye to what you're eating and the number on the scale. And I've done that myself. I didn't want to take responsibility for my actions, and so I lived in this ignorance is bliss mindset. And no, ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is pain. I was sick of feeling that way. And then I learned all of these things that we're talking about and realized that weight loss can be simple and easier than I thought. Just track your food in an app like MyFitnessPal. I personally recommend Chronometer, but if you have one that you're already comfortable with, just go with that. It doesn't really matter. If you want a breakdown of the food tracking app Chronometer, I'll leave a link down in the description. You could also just keep a food log. This can help you recognize patterns in your eating habits and help you identify the low-hanging fruits that you can change, like the liquid calories we talked about. If you do go this route, some things to include is the types of foods, the time that you're eating, and also how you're feeling in your mood so you can recognize patterns of emotionally eating or bored eating. Number 5 is get your beauty sleep. Poor sleep will kick up your hunger and your cravings, it will lower your willpower, and it will also leave you feeling tired and struggling to get through your day. So what does that mean? It means you'll be more hungry, you'll want to eat those quote-unquote junk foods, you'll have less willpower to say no to these things, and on top of that, you probably won't make it to your workout or anything active because you can barely get through your work and home responsibilities. So set yourself up for success and don't sabotage yourself by staying up watching Netflix or just doom scrolling on your phone. Tip number 6, make a plan for emotional eating. You have to know yourself. If you have a habit that works against your goals, instead of falling into it every single time, you have to make a plan around it. Remember in school when there was an emergency drill, you either go under your desk if there's an earthquake, or you meet at a certain spot if you needed to evacuate the class. You had a plan. So have an emergency plan for bad habits. So when they happen or when they're about to happen, you have a plan and you know what to do so you don't freak out and totally backslide. What are you gonna do when you feel like emotionally eating? Think about it and try different things that might work for you, whether that's taking a quick 5-minute walk or calling up a friend or someone to talk to. Come up with a plan, but also think about why you feel like you wanna eat. What feeling does that food you wanna eat give you? This is deeper inner work that needs to be done and it won't be changed overnight. So give yourself grace and patience while you're trying to figure this out. Number 7, use lighter cooking methods. Bake your food, grill it, steam it, pan fry it with cooking oil. Calories from cooking oil can make a big difference. If you could change this one thing, you could save on hundreds of calories every single day. The general goal is to minimize or not add any calories through your cooking method. 2 more to go. Number 8, eat protein with your breakfast. Starting your day with a generous portion of protein, somewhere between 30 to 50 grams, will help manage hunger throughout the day and keep you full much longer. Protein slows down the digestion. It also helps stabilize your blood sugar, which reduces the likelihood of those mid-morning cravings or those energy crashes. And this also gives you a head start with hitting your daily protein target, which is essential if you want to keep muscle mass as you lose weight. Number 9 is eat more fiber. A general recommendation is 15 grams per 1,000 calories eaten. That means if you're eating 2,000 calories in the day, you should roughly aim for 30 grams of fiber. This will also help keep you full and satisfied with your meals, which will help you eat less calories throughout the day. It will also help you detox, aka poop. If you are constipated, you're dealing with bloating or gut issues, this could be a game changer to help you feel better. A practical way to do this is fill half your plate up with veggies, or just make it a point to have some vegetables or fruit with every meal, or as many meals as you can. Now let's talk about the mindset around this so that you can keep the weight off after you lose it. The most important thing when it comes to your mindset around all of this is that you will not be perfect. You are a human being. You'll have slip-ups. You'll have days where you just are not feeling that, and that's okay. It's gonna happen. Brush it off. You didn't ruin your progress. All you have to focus on is getting back on track as fast as you can. And maybe in the beginning, it takes you a few days to get back on track, but you know how you make progress with that? Maybe instead of 3 days, it takes 2 days. And then eventually you reach a place where you can just get back on track the very next day. And that is all progress. Something else you have to keep in mind is that life comes in seasons. And you have to have these tools and approaches in your tool belt so that you can handle all of these changing seasons. In your life, you're going to go through stressful periods, whether that's taking care of a sick family member, you getting sick, going through a divorce, whatever it is, there's going to be these stressful times. And so you need to understand and learn how to change your approach to health and fitness, because ignoring your health and fitness is only going to make your situation worse. So you have to be flexible in your approach. So maybe when times are easy and you're feeling good, tracking your calories and your macros is a good idea, but when you're going through a stressful time, maybe you don't want to have that added stress or something else to think about. And so you move towards a more flexible approach and you just implement some of these strategies that we talked about in this video. The next one is that maintenance is a range. I used to think that if I dropped down to a certain weight, maintenance means that I had to stay at that exact same weight. And that's not how it is. Maintenance is a range. And the thing about that is you determine what that range is for you, what you feel comfortable with. My personal range is 10 pounds, right? So if I stay within that 10 pounds, I'm fine, I'm good. Once I start creeping above that, then I know, okay, maybe it's time to dial things back, be more mindful. But what that does is that it takes the pressure off of you. So you don't have to stress if your weight starts creeping up, but you have to decide what that range is for you. And just a reminder, you hear it all the time, but it's so true. Consistency is king. You have to stay on top of things. You have to stay consistent. And so I want you to think about these strategies as the bare minimum, your foundation. Pick some things that you will implement into your life that you can stick to consistently. So that way you can keep your progress, but also just manage your food intake a little bit better. So how can you get better results? I want you to get the best results possible, and I want you to live a long, healthy, happy life. And so now that you understand and now that you know how you can lose weight without exercising, I wanna show you how you can get even better results and have an easier time maintaining your weight loss with a little bit of exercise. Remember how we talked about maintenance calories at the beginning of the video? I wanna go back to that. When you exercise, you burn more calories throughout the day, which means your maintenance calories increases. And so the same amount of calories make up a much smaller portion of your maintenance calories. That means faster results or the same results with being able to eat more food. And more food means more flexibility. You can fit in more foods that you love, or you have more flexibility over your food choices when you go to social events, which makes this process that much more enjoyable. And if it's enjoyable, you're that much more likely to stick to it. That was a big picture view of it, but here are a few things that I want you to know so that you can make the best choice for you. If you want to change your body and have a specific shape, whether that's an athletic build, you want to look like a K-pop star or a superhero, you're going to have to do some strength training. Because if you just lose weight with diet or even just a little bit of cardio, you're only going to be a smaller version of yourself, which is okay if that's what you want. But again, if you want to have a shape to your body, you're going to need to do some strength training. It doesn't take a lot to get amazing benefits from your workouts. Something easy like walking, 10 to 30 minutes, can do amazing things for your health and also help you burn a little bit more calories to make maintaining your weight so much easier. And when we're talking about strength training, 1 to 3 times of strength training a week is plenty. And it doesn't even have to be in the gym. You can just start with body weight home workouts. And there are no rules. If you are doing a home workout, you could just break that up into 10-minute chunks throughout the entire day. It doesn't really matter, but you have to do something. I hope this video was helpful for you and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing if you want more videos like this, and if you want someone in your corner to help guide you, support you, and keep you accountable through your weight loss journey, the first link in the description will be my online fat loss coaching client application. Fill it out and we'll chat a little bit to see if I could even help you and if coaching would be the right fit for you. But if not, maybe check out this video that YouTube thinks you might like.